audience how Selma influenced your decision to organize the march?
No, absolutely. So it was March of last year. I go to Selma, and I come back, and I'm just energized. I mean, people on campus know me as I'll talk your ear off about voting, what's going on, politics. But I know I was just insufferable when I came back from Selma because I went down to Selma, and I knew it was all divinely ordained because when I was in the archives, I spent a lot of time in the archives here at Lincoln, and I found pictures that were donated by a Lincoln graduate, Royal A. Cornwell. He came out in 1936, 37. Of him in Selma as an adult, right? And he donated those pictures. He was never before seen pictures of Dr. King, Ralph Abernathy speaking at the state capitol. And I showed these to some of the foot soldiers and just took them back to when they were there. And so I just knew that he was calling for me. He was telling me something from beyond the grave. And then I come back and I say, wow, how did they do that? How did they do that? So I do more research, and I find out that they had advanced teams go out to, when they completed the full march, to go out, and they would set up tents, make sandwiches, they would scout out the route. And it was just like this big push. I said, wow, what if, and in the back of my mind, I said, I wonder if we would ever have to do something like that in modern times. And, only a few short months later, the state of Pennsylvania didn't pass Lincoln's appropriation. Like I said, Lincoln is a public-private institution, a state-related institution, which means we are a private institution, but we do receive some state dollars. About 20% of our budget comes from the state, and that goes to offsetting the cost of attendance, so through in-state tuition. We didn't get that, so Lincoln was only 80% whole of what we needed to be. And I tell people, imagine last year you made 100% of what you're making. This year you're only making 80% of what you're making. You're going to have to start making cuts soon. And we don't want to make cuts to already struggling HBCUs, right? Because the grand scheme of things, HBCUs compared to other schools face more challenges. So I go to another TJC fellow. When I went to my first training in September, I said, I got to bring more Lincoln students here. And, of course, Arnwine, you obliged. And I think we took 5 Lincoln students to Houston. Mackenzie Hanks, Isaiah Johnson, Jason Davis, Anais Spencer, and Barack Doju, and Janae Smith. And we all go down there, and I tell Mackenzie, what if we had a march? And instead of saying I'm crazy, she says, let's make it happen. We know how to do it. We learned this in Houston, right, through the training. And I said, okay. Yeah. And we put it together, and we call on the other fellows, Jason Davis, Isaiah Johnson, all TJC fellows. All these people have gone through these trainings. They networked, workshopped, and we put it in practice. And we marched 66 miles over 3 days, November 10th through November 13th. And then we got there, on Monday. We met with the state senators we had to meet with. And 3 days later, we get the word that the bill is finally passed after being stalled for 5 months. And we didn't just get this funding for Lincoln. We got this funding for the other 3 state-related institutions. And Lincoln, in the grand scheme of things, is a smaller school, right? Small but mighty. But these other schools you've heard about, Penn State, Temple University, and the University of Pittsburgh. And it was Lincoln University, the sole HBCU, that had to walk 66 miles to make it happen for all 4 schools. And the governor came to Lincoln to sign the bill on December 1st, 2023. And that is the story of, like the show is called, Igniting Change, right? I had the opportunity where TJC could light my torch, right? I held my torch high, and we took that torch all the way to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and the legacy of my frat brother, John Lewis, just like they marched so many years ago in Selma. So the spirit of Selma is still alive today. We can still learn so many lessons from it today. And also, here's a plug, a shameless plug. If you have never attended a TJC training, you need to attend a TJC training. If you call yourself an activist, a social justice advocate, someone who fights for the least of these, you cannot be complete without going to this training, because it will give you the tools and the confidence to face any challenge with the calmness of mind that you need, and the calmness of mind that Barbara Arnwine and Daryl Jones possess every single day.
Well, Barbara, do I write the check to Drake or do you?
No, I was just thinking, Daryl, on the serious side, I was just thinking about that arc from Selma to Houston, right? The arc of, they say the arc of, justice is, long. They say the arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And, and I was just thinking about that arc and about how, beautiful it is and all the, young people we work with. Again, folks, if you're interested in attending the Selma Jubilee, you can go to selmajubilee.com. If you want to know more about Transformative Justice Coalition and the work we'll be doing there, you can go to tjcoalition.org. Be sure to sign up for our mighty newsletter, The Transformer, which brings you all kinds of critical voting rights information. Daryl?
And you're absolutely right. And, as Drake was laying out about Congressman John Lewis, and certainly, posing, you to get involved with voting rights. And I guess Drake's other frat brother, Joe Madison, right, who recently passed and would always ask the question, the problem, what are you going to do about it? Well, folks, tjcoalition.org helps you to answer that question about what you're going to do about it. We'll give you the tools. We'll give you the information. We'll offer you opportunities for how to get involved. If you're between 18 and 35 years old, you also have the opportunity to get involved in our trainings. There are 2 trainings that we offer every year. This year's training in April of this year during the Final Four weekend is going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to be doing Drake, Edward, we're really going to be rolling out some new stuff in Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to be doing a big street type of festival that's going to be going on and all geared toward voting and voting rights and getting those folks active in the Phoenix area. But that training for this April is already closed. But you can apply for the future training, and that will probably open up again, I would say, in the next month or so. And the next training is going to be in Washington, D.C. at the Congressional Black Caucus. But you can go to tjcoalition.org to find out information with regards to all of those trainings and various programs and activities that we have going on all through the country. February 23rd, we encourage you to join us on Facebook Live as we're holding a national teletown hall that's going to be focused on the life of Ahmaud Arbery. February 23rd is the day that Ahmaud Arbery was taken from us, was killed, slain by those 3 white, vicious racists that trapped him and killed him. The prosecutor in that case we know is going to be coming up for trial will be in Brunswick when that trial occurs. There are appeals that are occurring, and the 3 killers' cases of Ahmaud will be in Georgia for those appeals. We encourage you to go to tjcoalition.org, find out what we're doing, where we're going to be, and come join us at those celebrations and all those activations. Drake, if people want to catch up to you, they're listening, they're like, oh, this brother from Lincoln seems to have it going on. I need to know what's happening at Lincoln. I need to know what Drake Smith is up to. How do they catch up to you, Drake?
So absolutely. I mean, if you want to get in touch with me, you can follow me on social media, Instagram at d.smith9_, d.smith9_. Or if you type in my name on Facebook, Drake Smith, I think on Instagram, just type in Drake Smith. It should come up too. You can email me at drake.smith@lions.lincoln.edu. drake.smith@lions.lincoln.edu.
Thank you. And Edward, I am just blown away on the WhatsApp to see all of our young folks who are coming to Selma. They're not even part of the official program of TJC, but they're so inspired about this work. They want to be on those front lines. Folks, the beauty of our luncheon, of the Gen Z luncheon, is that it puts the truth to the lie that our young people don't care. It puts the truth to the lie that they're not involved and engaged. And it's, to me, Edward, just beautiful that so many of our folks are saying, I'm going to see you in Selma. So tell people, how do they get in touch with you, sir?
Yeah, thank you. Personally, the only way to defeat a lie is with the truth. And so I think for me, one of the ways to get in touch is my Instagram for the number 4 Ward __. So that's 4 Ward __. You could either email me as well at Edward E. Ward 3 at gmail.com. Again, that's Edward E. Ward 3 at gmail.com, or Facebook, Edward Ward.
All right. And Daryl, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that our luncheon is free. And Gen Zers, we want to see you there. This is our time for everybody to connect. We want you to know that all our programs are free. One of the programs we're going to be having right after the luncheon is on voter restoration. It's on the right to vote for those who are formerly incarcerated. We are so happy that we'll be able to bring you that panel, and on that panel will be Gen Zers. Also, we're going to be doing a panel on organizing for 2024. If you're sitting back saying, I want to make a difference, I want to make sure that people are able to vote, and you want to come to that panel. And that panel is going to also be held in the same location. And again, it's free. Come, be part of it. Daryl.
Absolutely, Barbara, and all of our panels are free in Selma. Let me tell you, I get excited, Barbara, as you know, about each of the panels. But I tell you, when we talk about the restoration of the right to vote, and Rodrigo that's going to be with us, and Jerome Dillard is going to be with us out of Wisconsin. Let me tell you, it's going to be an information-filled panel. This is something that you do not want to miss. You certainly don't want to miss the Gen Zers with We Got Now. And their presentation with voting rights. This is what it's all about, folks. At TJC, we don't just talk. We can sit here and we can tell you all that we're doing, but it's more important for us to be able to be certain that we're putting hands to the plow. We're in the yard. We're in the ground. We're in the dirt, being certain that we are tilling the dirt to turn over the soil so that this democracy can thrive. We encourage you. We encourage everybody to be certain to check on your voting status. And as we love to say, Barbara, get off the sidewalks, get into the street, make it happen, turn it over, make your way to a polling place, take somebody with you, and let's get this vote on. It's 2024 election time, folks. Until next Tuesday, noon Eastern Standard Time. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
The preceding program was paid for by Barbara Arnwine.
Celebrating Black History Behind the Lens. Hollywood's independent filmmakers on 1450 and 95.9 WOL.
Ava DuVernay is a director, producer, writer, and film distributor. She made her feature film debut with the documentary This Is the Life, a history on the hip-hop movement that exploded in LA in the 1990s. Ava DuVernay received the African American Film Critics Association Award for Best Screenplay for the film I Will Follow in 2010. In 2012, she followed that award up with Best Director at Sundance Film Festival for Middle of Nowhere. In 2013, Ava DuVernay became only the second black woman to join the directors and writers branches of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. She became the first black female director to be nominated for a Golden Globe Award for her film Selma in 2014.
Celebrating Black History Behind the Lens, Hollywood's independent filmmakers. Brought to you by Bridges Public Charter School.
WOL Washington, D.C. W240DJ Washington. 95.9 WMMJ HD3 Bethesda. WKYS HD3 Washington. WPRS HD3 Waldorf and worldwide at WOLDCnews.com.
The views and opinions of the following show do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of News Talk 1450 WOL, Radio 1 Incorporated, or their management.
Information is power, and now available on your smartphone or tablet. Download the free WOL app now.
I'm Ellie the Mammoth, and my friend Sid the Sloth knows what being a great parent is all about.
I'm responsible, loving, nurturing.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Visit adoptuskids.org for more information. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.